What women think is high value in a man is completely different than what you assume. Actually, let's watch this video.
What really makes a man high value is a really high level of self-esteem, and self-esteem simply comes from self-respect. What self-respect looks like is doing what's best for you, even if you want to give in to your current desires. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, this woman is fantastic and she's great sex, but you know she's dangerous, you know she's chaotic. You know, the man that can't walk away from that woman and hyper attaches to her is automatically low value, because he has allowed one desire to dictate all his behavior. High value men can suppress some of their current desires for their long-term vision of themselves. They have the ability to practice self-control in different areas of their life.
So it pretty much comes down to being able to control your emotions, to lower your reaction and be more unreactive and more detached. But the problem is that too many of you guys are too needy and creepy and too addicted to female validation. So when you meet a woman and you like her, you're so excited that it comes across in your face. Your body tenses up. Your face shows nervousness. Your voice becomes more squeaky, right? And a woman can sense that, and she feels it as though there's something off about you because you're trying to come across confident. So now you're coming across incongruent. And women are really good at catching those inconsistencies, and it turns them off. So it's pretty much learning how to be more congruent, being more unreactive. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that by going to the whiteboard, okay? And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if you guys apply this, you'll become more unreactive. Now, to the average looking guys and to the ugly looking guys, this helps you because it prevents you from becoming bitter. It prevents you from becoming bitter, and it'll give you the discipline to actually focus more, to move up in life, to get in better shape. Like being more unreactive makes you more disciplined, because unreactivity isn't just to women, it's also to procrastination. It's also to fear. You feel the fear of holding a art event like me. I'm gonna have an art event right now, right? I feel afraid, but you know what? I'm unreactive. That unreactivity doesn't just apply to women. It applies to actually doing things that are difficult, so that when women see that, they become more attracted to you because you build a very attractive life. It takes discipline, and that discipline takes you going through your fears. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go to the whiteboard and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. When we try to decrease our emotional reactions, we pretty much fight fire with fire, meaning we try to decrease our emotional reactions by using what created those emotional reactions. And what was that? What creates those emotional reactions are your thoughts, images, and reactions. We try to remove the very thing that causes us unhappiness. Remember, your unhappiness, your reactions are caused by a thought, an image of that thought, and an emotional reaction. So there has to be a better way to do that. Well, guess what? There's actually 4 rules you guys can follow to decrease your emotional reaction time by 80%. This is proven by science. This is proven by science. All right. If you guys don't believe me, just Google these strategies. They work. All right. The only difference is that, are you willing to do this? Because a lot of people are just informational junkies and just want to watch this video for entertainment. 90% of people just watch this video for entertainment. So if you guys are serious about decreasing your reaction and not be so easily triggered, then this is the video for you. Now, a warning: don't fall for the illusion that reacting to those emotions removes the emotion. What it does is that reacting to the emotion by, for example, oh my God, I want to smoke, let me smoke some weed, and so you remove the emotion, the anxiety, it doesn't remove it. It just suppresses it and creates more. That's suppression. This is what creates the problem, is you not feeling the emotion, you not processing and being conscious of the emotions. Remember, like I always say, let's zoom in right here, okay? This is how your unconscious works, okay? You have your unconscious. This is where your unconscious emotions are. This is how you feel your emotions, your consciousness, and this is where your conscious mind is. You can only feel a certain amount of emotions consciously, right? If too much comes out, you have a mental breakdown. Everyone has a limit of how much could pass through this, okay? What happens is that when you try to fix the problem, imagine this is your unconscious emotions, and imagine that this is the conscious manifestation of your emotion. And you have multiple manifestations of this emotion. And the problem is that this is the line of your conscious mind. This is your unconscious and this is your conscious. And so if you notice, you only get a very small portion of what's here. And what happens is that when you try to fix this, for example, a craving to smoke cigarettes, right? The anxiety causes you to smoke cigarette. And so what happens? The anxiety goes away after you smoke. But what happens? It actually goes back inside your unconscious. And then not just that, it doesn't just go back inside, it adds more. And we all do this our whole lives. And that's why our drug habits and our negative patterns increase. So what you want to be able to do is not be fooled by the conscious manifestations of it, because this is really an illusion. Stop reacting to this. And what's this? This is actually what? Your thoughts, right? Let's move this over here. This is actually the thoughts, images, and your conscious reaction. It's what makes up the illusion of the manifestations of the emotion. So you got to find a way to break through this illusion, because if you just keep reacting to this, what you're really doing is you're just suppressing, and it adds more. So how do you get through that, right? How do you get through that? It's a very smart way of the brain of the ego to stay alive. How do you do that? Well, you first have to increase your capacity to concentrate. If you notice anyone who's going through an emotional breakdown, the last thing they could do is concentrate. That's why they tell you, hey, I know you lost your dog, whatever, right? Breathe. I'm like, no, but I lost my dog. What are they saying? Oh my God, about thoughts, images. And I'm like, hey, breathe. In other words, observe. So it becomes difficult because sometimes the emotional reactions are so intense that you don't have the capacity to concentrate while you feel those emotions. So you got to be able to increase your capacity to concentrate. So and they call this anapana. And anapana is pretty much just concentrating on the breath, right? You learn to just sit and breathe and just increase your capacity to observe the breath and not get distracted. And that's all you want to do. Just increase your capacity and tell your brain, let me just focus here. Concentrate on this area. And this gives you the strength to be able to feel an intense emotion and not look at the emotion, but actually look the other way. And this looking of the other way is going from the thoughts and images, you're bringing it to the where? To the body. Understand, your unconscious emotions are in the body. So this is how you deal, rather than dealing with this, which is this, you go and feel the sensations of the body. And by you doing that, now you're actually dealing with the issue. And when you bring the awareness to the body, what you notice is that when you breathe, you notice thoughts arise, right? Well, because that's actually, you're finally tapping into your unconscious. And by you feeling the body, which is this is actually what you're trying to do. This, by you trying to remove this, you're finally doing it by feeling the body. It actually it's almost like it's like water evaporating. It'll naturally evaporate away. It's not gonna come out in the illusionary form. It's just gonna evaporate. And with that evaporation comes also the evaporation of the thoughts and emotions. All right? So that's one thing. You first increase your capacity to concentrate by literally doing what they call anapana meditation. And then you begin to observe the reaction, right? So as you're concentrating, you'll notice that, imagine that you miss your flight and now you're sitting and you notice your mind wants to talk about the fact that you missed your flight, right? So what you do instead is that you just sit and scan the body from head to toe. And what you notice is that you actually observe that your mind gets distracted, right? And then you bring back awareness to the body. And then you get distracted. You notice you're thinking of this or that. And then what you're doing is that you're observing the reaction because you're not creating it. Like, you're not creating those thoughts. You're trying to concentrate. But the mind keeps creating these things, right? You're observing it. It's dissolving away. Imagine this is like a cup full of unhappy emotions, right? And your reaction puts a lid on it, so it can't evaporate. You're removing the lid, creating space, and you're allowing it to evaporate. Sometimes it might take a year, but eventually all of this will evaporate. And usually the first things that evaporate are emotions that are not that intense, right? I want to eat this, I want to eat that. But the more you concentrate, then at the bottoms here, very intense emotions arise. And sometimes that's why if you have any form of like mental illness, you gotta be careful, because these emotions right here can be so fucking intense that you don't have the bandwidth to be able to handle such intense evaporate. You get what I'm saying? So some people, this does not apply for some people because you have so much intense emotions from childhood, or there's something wrong with your brain that to liberate yourself from this almost becomes risky, right? So increase your capacity to concentrate will allow you to stay in the body while you're feeling and noticing these thoughts and images. Once you do that, you remove energy from the mental formations by scanning the body. Right? So first you increase your capacity to concentrate by being aware of the one little area right here. Then once you increase that capacity, then you scan the body from head to toe, and you scan it in the same direction, the same pattern. You don't allow your thought, oh my God, I'm so bored, and then you forgot where you scanned the body. No, keep the scanning the same way, head to toe. So don't let thoughts and emotions and images change the order of the scanning. So just scan and remember, I already said concentrate, but you're naturally going to concentrate if you do this first part. And this will allow you to be in the unconscious and allow these things to dissolve because you're not here. This, like I said, represents the illusionary manifestations of those emotions, and you never really fix it. So that once your emotion lowers, once you sit and just observing, allow this because no emotion can stay at a peak for 100%. Once this emotion lowers, then you can act. For example, if you, I'm trying to think of something like that. Okay, let's just say somebody is pissing you off, right? And you're about to text them back. Before you text them back, do the scan meditation until you lower your emotions, and then once the emotion lowers, then send that text. What you will notice is that the quality of your response literally changes, and then above all, because you're not reacting as soon as you feel the emotion, you're actually not reinforcing it. You're not reinforcing it. You reinforce, or better yet, you add more pain whenever you feel the emotion and then you act on it instantly. Oh my God, I feel angry. I lost my dog. Fuck. Right? That fuck. That response in aggression actually reinforces it. Right? So once the emotion lowers, then you can act. So with this method, you have no reinforcement, no creation of ego, because the ego is this. Thoughts and images, like who you think you are is a thought and an image, right? And it purifies the mind, meaning the emotions dissolve away. That's the purification. And what's this space now? What's this thing that it takes its place? Emptiness, consciousness, who you really are, your true self. Now, there's a bonus. You could practice metta meditation. If you guys want to learn about it, I'm uploading a metta meditation video on Patreon. For $5 a month, we upload a few times a week, a few times a month. And this one, I'm going to upload the metta meditation exactly how I do it, and you'll be able to follow it with me. And this could be a replacement for this whole method, because what happens is that empathy, when you increase your empathy, because that's what metta does, it also increases your ability to be rational. It also increases gray matter in the brain, which allows you to deal with intense emotions more. So this is a pretty good replacement for this whole method. But in fact, I would prefer that you do this, and towards the end, you do a metta meditation, and you'll notice that just these 4 rules or 5 rules will reduce your reaction. Now, are you gonna do it, or do you just take what I'm saying as entertainment? You tell me, all right? If you guys want to do it, join our Patreon. I think I'm gonna start doing like daily every week meditation once a week, so that you guys can join me if you're a Patreon member. So yeah, check it out. That's where I post other videos that I don't post here, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Now, if you're a guy and you struggle controlling your emotions, if you struggle procrastinating, you're very reactive, you get very nervous, you have a lot of shyness, and those types of emotions stop you, then I have two options for you. Three options actually. Purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. Okay, it's a course that I created. It's a 5-week course that will teach you guys how to go from super reactive and creepy and needy to actually confident and masculine. It's a course that doesn't give you instant results. I'm gonna be honest with you. It takes a few months of practice, but it does bring results. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I've seen it in my life. Okay, I've seen it in my life. And as soon as I apply these strategies, within the first 2 or 3 months, I've started noticing I was happier. And I stopped paying attention to what women reacted to. But then when I was happier, all of a sudden, like, rejection didn't hurt. I was more calm. And then I started noticing women would go more on second, third dates with me, right? And above all, I was just more calm. And even women told me that knew me before, and after I applied what that course said, they told me that I just come across as more calm. What did you do? There's something different about you. What is the meditation and the style of teaching that I have in that course that produces those results? And if you don't like it, you can get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click on the description down below. It's called Emotional Mastery. The other option is going to a 10-day Vipassana retreat. Those 10 days will give you instant results. But it's 10 days of like meditation, okay? Other than that, constant meditation, join a meditation group. It'll teach you guys how to do that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can also become a Patreon supporter, and there you guys can meditate with me through Zoom. So that's one thing. For $5 a month, you guys have access to me. We meditate a few times a week, and then I'll teach you guys the meditation method, right? So yeah, man. Honestly, it's something that a lot of you guys need to do, especially guys who are not used to talking to women. You need to lower your reactivity. And the best way to do that is through daily meditation. Plain and simple. Okay? So click on the description down below, and I'll see you guys there. And there's a 30-day money back guarantee.